You can set the content property of a button to a simple string, like here to the string @customer. But instead of a simple string, you can set the content property to a complex object by using the property element syntax. Then you can assign, for example, a stack panel that contains an image and a text block. Now the button has an image and text as a content. As you know already, the property element button.content is optional. You can omit it, which makes your SAML code more compact. Now, as you can see, the button supports a simple string as content, but also a complex UI element like a stack panel. This is WPF's flexible content model. The button is a subclass of content control. This class defines the content property. Beside the button class, also other classes inherit from content control, like for example checkbox, label, and window. The content property is of type object. This means that you can assign an arbitrary object to the content property. Now, let's assume that you assign a UI element. UI element is a WPF base class for all panels and all controls. If you assign a UI element to the content property of a content control, that UI element is just rendered. You can assign an image element or a stack panel to the content property, and these elements are just rendered. But now the question is, what happens when you assign any other object that does not inherit from UI element? When you do that, the toString method on the object is called and the result of the toString method is rendered. Behind the scenes, WPF creates a text block UI element to display the string. But now, for some more complex objects, like for example for a customer object, the result of the toString method might not be what you want. Instead of relying on the toString result, you can use a data template to define a user interface for your object. In the data template, you can use UI elements like panels and controls to create the user interface. You can bind properties of these UI elements to the object that was assigned to the content property of the content control. That object is automatically in the data context of the data template. The data template itself is assigned to the content template property of your content control. This is how the flexible content property and data templates work. Beside the content control class, WPF contains another class that supports the flexible content model, and that is the items control class. Content control is for a single object, and items control is for a collection of objects. Some typical classes that inherit from items control are list view, combo box, and tab control. The items control class has an item source property to which you can assign a collection of objects. For these objects, the same rules apply as within the content control. UI elements are rendered, and for any other object, the result of the toString method is shown in a text block. If that toString result is not what you want, you can assign a data template to the item template property. With that data template, you define the user interface for the objects in your items control. In this module, you will use data templates with the content control and also with the items control. You will use the content control to load different detail views into the main window of the customer's application. But before you do that, you will use in the next clip a data template with an items control, respectively with the list view, which is a subclass of items control.